Pei-Ju suffer a social and family pressures on women's body image and identity. She kept questioning herself while trying to find the balance between control and indulge. Heavy Craving is a collection of bravery, care, and humanity. Tonight, we are really honored to have Meng Han to join us to understand the behind the story with director Hsieh. At daytime, Meng Han is a genius engineer who started many ventures. He's also a cinematographer and an actor. His diverse background and relentless passion for films will bring us the most intriguing and intimate discussion tonight. Let's give a round of applause to welcome Meng Han.
Excuse me, Meng Han, you are muted.
Okay, sorry. Hi, everyone. It is a great pleasure to have director Pei-Ju joining us in today's forum. I believe most of you have seen director Hsieh's movie, Heavy Craving. Before our conversation with director Hsieh, let me briefly introduce to you some of her background. Director Hsieh received her bachelor's degree from the Department of Filmmaking at National Taiwan University of Arts. Later, she earned her film MFA in directing at Columbia University. Director Hsieh's short film, Knighthood, was selected for the section of Taiwan shorts in 2013 Taipei Golden Horse Film Festival and Awards. She is one of the directors of the feature film 10 Years Taiwan, which was selected for Busan International Film Festival and was nominated for the Best Narrative Feature at the 2018 Taipei Film Awards. Heavy Craving, director Hsieh's feature debut, netted her Best New Talent at Taipei Film Awards and the Audience Choice Award at International New Talent Competition of the 21st Taipei Film Festival. Her latest short film, A Cockerel's Tale, was premiered at the 2019 Kaohsiung Film Festival and was screened at Osaka Asian Film Festival in 2020. Let's give a warm applause to welcome director Hsieh to talk to us.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, so if the audience has any question, please feel free to just type in the chat box. So I will transfer the question to director. So first of all, how about telling us a little bit about your filmmaking background?
Yeah, sure. Okay. This is my first online web session, so I'm a bit nervous right now. But yeah,
Me too.
about about my filmmaking background. I've always been a fan of storytelling, and I think it's a great way to communicate with your ideas and thoughts to people, especially if you're a bit shy like me. And the idea of becoming a filmmaker came later when I was in high school, and our teacher one time showed us this film, Farewell My Concubine, 霸王别姬, an amazing film. And I remember the whole class were so deeply touched by the film that we spent hours and hours just talking about it in class. And I can still recall the faces while they're talking about this movie. They were some people were crying, and some people were just so emotional because they feel connected so much with this film. And that's when I realized that how a film can be a perfect platform to share stories and to tell stories. And that's when I decided, yeah, I want to be a filmmaker, because it feels so, I don't know, it just feel great. So
to be the filmmaker instead of the actor of Chinese opera.
Yeah, I think I don't think I'm fit for that.
Okay, oh, sorry. Please go ahead.
So yeah, so I applied for and went to the film program at National Taiwan University of Arts, And after that, I went to New York and got my MFA in film directing at Columbia University. And in 2015, I returned to Taiwan. And in 2019, my first film, Happy Craving, was finished and released.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
How long did you spend in Columbia University? How long was the program?
3 to 5 years, but I stayed a full 5 years there.
I see.
Yeah, because I want to stay in New York as long as possible.
Totally understand. Yes. Okay. So Heavy Craving is your first feature film. So before this film, you only made short films. So how did you feel about the transition from short to full?
It was definitely very challenging for me because before I was used to making films that's under 15 minutes, and to make a 19-minute feature is like everything is 5 or 6 times more complicated than a short film. So yeah, we spent a lot of time on the script. I had my first draft of Happy Craving in 2014, and yeah, and we rewrite and we shot the film in 2018, and at the same time, like during these years, we were just polishing the script and trying to get funded. And finally, after 4 years, the film was shot and made. So it's like 5 years. It's a long process, a lot longer process than a short film. But yeah, it was fun, and I think I still like making short films, and I would love to make more short films in the future if the story fits better in the short films, the form of a short film. But yeah, I think it's fun either way. Yeah.
I see. Okay, I can imagine that the number of steps in your full feature and the short film is quite different, probably 3 to 5 times in number difference, or you have to handle different department, I would believe. Instead of in short film, probably people are multitask in different functions.
Yeah, it is. But luckily, I've been working like all the teams, the cast and crew I've been working with were wonderful and very professional. Like, so yeah, I met good people.
Okay, so what was the inspiration behind the story of Heavy Craving?
Yeah, the film is loosely inspired by my personal experience because I was once a chubby teenager, and my family and friends would make fun of me because of my figure. Although they did it in a very loving way. They thought they loved me. I knew that. But you know how family is. They feel like they have the right to tease you just because they love you, right? And they didn't mean any harm, so they was think like, what's a big deal, right? But sometimes those jokes about my look and my weight make me can be very harsh and hurtful, and it makes me feel very insecure about my body. So at that time, in order to lose weight, I went on a very unhealthy diet by just skipping meals and counting calories. I just don't eat, and yeah, and I did lose some weight at first, but it all bounced back very quickly because I was doing it the wrong way and for the wrong reason. And yeah, and I think in Taiwan, it's strangely very natural for us to greet people by commenting on people's look, right? You will sometimes when people see each other, they'll use words like, hi, you're getting bigger, or oh, you're getting thinner, to just greet each other. And I think that's actually very weird, but we are so used to it. And that habit make us become very aware of our appearance, and it's almost as if you don't, your look doesn't meet a certain standard, then there's something wrong with you. So yeah, looking back, I find it very ironic that I was holding back my cravings for food in order to satisfy my craving to be loved and accepted by people around me. And that's kind of what inspired me to make this film. And yes, right, in the film, we can see Jun, she was a perfectly fine and lovable woman, but she tries extreme ways to lose weight so that she can fit in. But in the end, she lose something more important than her weight. Yep.
I see. So I remember that my parents told me that when they were at their age, people greeting with each other saying that, have you eaten your meal? 吃饭了没? But probably in our age, we greet each other with, oh, okay, so now your figure become bigger or smaller.
People do that all the time, right?
Yes.
And my mom would, she's not here, so I can say bad things about her. There's one time in the elevator, she met someone she's not even that familiar with. It's a acquaintance, and immediately she'll say, "Oh, look at your tummy, it's getting bigger." It's a very impolite thing, but it's very common in Taiwan, and for, I don't know, elder people to greet people in that way. And I try to talk to her that this is wrong, you shouldn't say things like that, but she feel like she didn't mean any harm, so it should be fine. Everyone knows that we all do that to people, and people do that to me too, so it's fine. I think a lot of people can relate to that in
Yes.
Taiwan, and I think it's a habit that we should quit. I'm still learning that right now, because sometimes unconsciously I will still tell people that, hey, you look a little skinnier, right? That's the opposite of getting fat, but it's still either, I mean, you shouldn't comment on people's appearance that often. Yeah, that's a habit that I'm trying to quit myself as well.
Okay, so although we comment on each other with this jokingly attitude, so do you feel that overweight people are often discriminated in reality, in our society, discriminated?
Yeah, I do think so. People will feel like we'll have this stereotypical assumption that if you're overweight, then you must be lazy, or you must not taking very good at yourself. But that's not necessarily true, because being overweight, there are a lot of reasons for people to be overweight, and you don't know what happened to that person. So it's wrong to just make assumption before you know the person. Like for my actress Jia Ying, she's actually a very athletic person. She used to be a basketball player, but you wouldn't know that. When you see her, you would just feel like, oh, she can, you make some assumptions about her, but sometimes that's just wrong. Yeah.
I see.
And for skinnier people too, like when people are skinny, you maybe assume that, oh, that person is not eating, or she's going on diet, or blah blah blah. But there's a lot of reasons that can cause, I don't know. Yeah, sometimes it's a disease, sometimes she's sick, sometimes something else, and it's just not fair to just make that assumption before you know the person, I guess.
Okay. So here comes a question from the audience, since I think it's relevant, so I might just bring it in now. So it's from the audience, Yu Zhen Li. She says that, did you find the filming process difficult to handle the emotion that you mentioned previously? If so, which part, and how did you process your thoughts and feeling based on your feeling about your experience of growing up by teasing by other people. How did you handle these feelings in the film making process?
I think it really helped me a lot more than I thought it would be, because I wasn't that overweight, but I was still very conscious about my appearance. Even to this day, I still have the habit of checking my weight every day, daily. I will check my weight and feel very depressed if I gain 1 or 2 pounds, even though I know it's maybe just water, but it still make me feel very anxious. Oh my God, I might went back to the weight that I was once at. Anyway, so yeah, but making this film made me realize that it actually really made me accept myself more, because when I work with Hsieh, she's a very chill, and she just have this very, I mean, she loves herself very much. And I learned a lot from her, and I would be I mean, dealing with this issue, I think I was a lot more serious than her, and she's just in a very relaxing way. Yeah, I'm not saying I didn't express myself good enough, but yeah. Oh, and one thing that after making this film that I learned is that I'm no longer embarrassed by the ugly pictures I took. I mean, I learned that it's all me. Like, you know, we all have like some bad pictures, right? Like photos of ourselves that we don't want to show people. But after this film, I no longer care about all that. I mean, I'm fine with being taken a bad photo and post online. Well, sometimes, but yeah, well,
okay.
Yeah. So that doesn't affect me anymore, because I know that that's me. There's old. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay, so I really enjoyed the performance of Jia Cai, the protagonist in the movie. So how did you cast this role, and how did you find her?
I always know that I want to work with a new talent for this role, so that people can see this character with fresh eyes. And I saw Jia in a student film, and I was very impressed by her performance and the charisma. So I stalked her a little bit online, trying to find out who she is and what she does as an actress, and trying to find more of her work. And then I approached her and tell her that there's a story that I'm writing, and she was interested. So we spent a lot of time. We started to talk about this script, and yeah, she helped me a lot, because in my first draft, the character was very dark and sad, because she felt like she was wronged by the society and all. But after meeting Jia, I realized that the original character I had in mind was a little harder for people to relate to, because she shut her down like completely in the script. So it's hard for us to love that person. But with Jia, and with her personality that I was really fond of, I find that you don't have to be so sad and dark in order to make a point. You can still, it can be more cheerful and tell this story in a lighter way, and maybe more people can relate to it. So yeah. So she helped me a lot through this rewriting process. And we will. I think we spent more than a year before the film was ready to go into production. We just chat and talk about anything that come to mind. It was a good time.
Wonderful. So did she during the making the process of making the movie, did she ever feel uncomfortable playing the role during the shooting?
No, I think she's always been very comfortable, like a lot more comfortable than me, because I thought some things I get a little too frightened about things that I don't want to offend people. Don't want to say things wrong. So I was always very careful and scared. But she's like just very relaxed and yeah. So
Yes.
I don't think there's anything she felt not comfortable doing. Oh, maybe something that's athletic related. I mean, when she was, there's a scene where she was running at on the street, yeah, and
the jogging exercise.
Yes, we made her wear certain things that she think is wrong to wear because this doesn't make sense for me, a person who never work out outdoor. So I trust her on that.
I see. Okay. Okay. So the mother of the protagonist was played by the senior actress, Shu Qin-ke. So did you feel pressured when working with her?
I was, yeah, indeed very nervous before meeting her because she's a well-known actress, very experienced, and I've seen a lot of her work. I love her work, and she's a kind of goddess to me. So yeah, I was very nervous, but it went well. I mean, for example, there's once before the shoot, we did a rehearsal. We arranged Hsieh and Hsieh together, and that's the first time they meet. And I thought that, and I picked out a few things for them to rehearse and to run the lines. I thought, it's a great way for them to get to know each other. But instead, we didn't do any of that day. We just sat on the floor for 2 or 3 hours, just talking about to share our stories and talk about our life experience and talk about why I want to make the film and and talk about the characters, what they think the characters would be and stuff. And I think that's a lot more helpful than my original plan to just run the lines with them. And I think, yeah, I learned a lot from that as well. There's sometimes you don't have to do things by the book. You can just it's more important for people to connect and to bond with each other, like for real, not just on the paper. So I had a great time working with them.
I see. There was a scene when the protagonist, Ying Zhen, realized that her mother did not put her picture in the brochure, the newly made brochure for the kindergarten. And there was a kind of confrontation between them. So it's very touching that I think that Shu Qin-ke really played a great role by saying almost nothing. She just let the Ying Zhen dump out all her feelings. That I think by doing nothing, she's actually has a very strong presence there in the movie.
Yeah, she was amazing. And also there's another thing, like outside of the fitness center when Ying Zhen was sitting there all defeated. And in the script, the mother said a bunch of things, like saying after Ying Zhen confessed that what she has done, the mother talk about her feeling as well and say she's sorry, she apologized, and blah, blah, a lot of lines. And then Hsieh told me that she doesn't think the mother should say that much at that moment. She told me that she thinks this is Jia Ying's thing, and all she has to do is just to support her and to let her talk, and she doesn't need to say that many things. And yeah, it works so much better than the script. And I was crying that day watching the monitor, because it's really touching, and how she is willing to support this new actress and help her to develop this character. I think that's priceless.
Wonderful. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the character in the movie was the courier, the
Mm-hmm.
delivery man. He said to the protagonist that changing the world is too difficult. Changing yourself is faster. So later we discovered the dark side of him and realized that he probably had not come out of the shadow of being overweight. So my question is, was this character a reflection of some reality that you have observed? It doesn't matter whether weight loss was successful. People going through the process were imprinted with something serious in their life.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, take me as an example. I still feel very conscious about my body, like every day. So I think that does cause something inside. But I created a character mainly to show that how common it is for us to judge a person by his or her look. Like because when we see people like Ying-Juan and Hsieh walking together, we tend to think that Ying-Juan needs help and Hsieh is the healthy one, right? And but what if Hsieh is using the extreme method to maintain his appearance, like what we see in the movie, right? Will we still feel like he's healthy? And what do we really get to say about anyone before we really know what's going on in his or her life? And yeah, that is why I make him that way. And the words he says is very twisted. Like change the world is difficult and change yourself is faster, right? I think that's a very scary line, because he say it in a very cheerful and positive way, but it actually means that he's given up of himself. Like he doesn't care about what he really wants. He just want to do whatever the world told him to do. So yeah, it's a pretty sad line for me.
Nice. Okay. So the subplot of the movie is the story of a boy who likes to dress in women's clothes. So why did you make this arrangement?
I made Xiaoyu, this little boy who had a secret urge of cross-dressing, to kind of echo Ying-Juan's situation. Because in the film we see Ying-Juan encourage Hsieh to be himself, but Xiaoyu to be himself, but at the same time she struggled with the insecurity of her own appearance. And yeah, so I think I think they're kind of they are similar, because they're facing this problem that people around them want them to change themselves, right? And so that's what bring them together. And through Xiaoyu, I think Ying-Juan realized what, I mean, in Ying-Juan's mind, she knows what's right, what's wrong. She thinks people should be themselves, but she can't help but wanting to be loved and accepted. So she chose a different way. So yeah, that's why I put them both, two of them together.
Wonderful. It's a wonderful subplot, I think. So in the movie, the mother of the boy insists that his life would be more difficult if he's different. So do you agree? Or is it difficult to cast this role, to find this little boy to play the role?
I think sadly, I can't pretend it wouldn't be hard for a little boy who has a tendency of cross-dressing. In this world, I think it would be a little difficult. And I believe that Xiao's mother only wants the best for her kid. and she knows that life can be very challenging for him if she continued this tendency. So she forced him to quit cross-dressing. But I don't think the mother is the one to blame, because we are now in a world where, I mean, if we are in a world where everyone can be whoever they want to be, then none of this will become a problem, right? So, yeah. And I was, when casting this role, I was a little, I want to be very careful because it involves a child actor, and we are very fortunate to find Hsieh. He's a very mature and an experienced actor. Actually, he was in a lot of TV shows. He's a very experienced actor, even more experienced than Jia Ying. So he's able to treat the role professionally and with a great compassion. And we also sought advice on how I should explain to the actor and other child actors about this role. And it went pretty well because the kids and their parents were all very understanding and open-minded. So yeah, that was it. But yeah, I think Enwei, the actor who plays Xiaoyu, he's a very good kid and very when at first when he tried on the skirt, he would still be shy, but later he treated it in a very professional way. He knows that this is what this character do, and he was able to understand the character and just be the character. So yeah, it went well.
Wonderful. So the scene with the fighting is very impressive in the movie. So was the reddish slimy space the stomach of protagonist Yingzhen's stomach? So why did you decide to include it, and how did you shoot it?
It is her stomach. I created this saying that because I think Yingzhen's enemy is not a single person, it's the beauty standard in the society. So I think the enemy she should fight is a concept. So that's why I make her fight this imaginary character, and to visualize her struggle to fit in this world, and to show that she has enough of this crap that everybody's been feeding her. So yeah, and since it's a fantasy thing, it can go many directions. And the ideas to make it a stomach, it comes from our production designer, and I think it's an awesome idea. We use stretchable fabric to be the wall, and we use yoga balls. We stick like yoga balls behind the wall, and when they were fighting, there were a bunch of people behind the wall and pushing those yoga balls. So it's a workout day for everyone. Yeah, and that was really fun making that thing. That was the last day of the shoot, and yeah, we went over. That was the last day, and it was delayed for a very long time. We were supposed to wrap that in around midnight, but when we finished the shoot, it was almost the sun kind of goes up.
Wow. Okay, so it's a whole day plus several hours.
Yeah, it's a long day, and we started late, but yeah, it is a very long shoot.
Ah, very interesting. So there were no animation, no special effect involved.
No.
Wow. So it's all hand push.
Yeah.
Yoga ball.
Yeah. A lot of sweat that day.
But just looks very nice. The effects very convincing. Looks like someone's stomach. A great idea, fighting in someone's stomach.
Yeah, thank you for recognizing that.
Okay, so in the last part of the movie, so in the morning after the protagonist had an exhausted night fighting with the imagined skinny model, she sat on the roadside bench and watched from a distance a cute chubby boy delightfully eating a rice bowl. It seems that the protagonist has some revelation about life or the reality of the world. What is the revelation? So did she reconcile with the world? What is the answer that you want to give to the audience?
For me, I love that scene. I think that little boy was amazing. Yeah. For me, I think food is love. So it's sad. It's very sad for me when Injun needs to reject all the love because she wanna be loved by people. So when Injun sees this boy enjoying his food, she recalls what truly makes her happy, which is cooking for people and eating with them, and to have a good meal with people she loves. That's what makes her happy. So when she sees the boy, she recalls that, and she was able to let go of some of the pain and try to, the world is what it is. So she kind of learned to adapt a little bit, and also to just she was like, oh, I've tried this, it didn't work, so I'll just be myself again. So at that thing, and at the moment she's back to herself, and she's able to treat the there were two girls walking by, right, and she make fun of them. Yeah. Yeah, and that's when she came back to her own self, like being a little naughty, and she can treat this world and others common in a more humorous way. Yeah.
I see. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So in the end, okay. So in the end, the protagonist go back to herself at the beginning. She worries nothing. I think the story all began with when she was in the supermarket, and the weight loss institute, the company, forced her a pamphlet, want her to just push that pamphlet into her bag. It's all start everything. And then Yingzhen's mother picked it up and thought that she is conscious about something, want to make change. And then it's all rolls out. And then it's wonderful that in the end, you bring her back to her original self.
Yeah, but stronger, I hope. I think she's stronger than before. Yeah, because in the beginning, she's still a little, she still cared about what people think about her. But in the end, she's like, no, I don't give it. Yeah. And she's able to support people around her as well. Like Xiao Wu, he clearly needs help, and Xiao Yu, he needs a friend with him. So yeah, she was able to support, believe in herself and support others in the end. So yay, happy ending.
So were there different ending when you wrote the script?
Yes. The first draft of the script was super dark, and the character actually went crazy in the end. There's kind of a combination of the film Misery and what other film? Anyway, it goes very dark. In the first draft of the story, Yingzhen was a very sad and angry person, and she met a love interest, Xiao Wu, and want to change herself. And in the end, when it all failed, she just went crazy, kidnapped Xiaowu, and tried to feed him food that she cooked for him, because I think food is love. And in the end, when police came to her apartment, they kind of, there's a struggle. She escaped, and they want to catch her, and blah blah blah, and she died in the end. That was the first draft of the story. But thanks to Jia Ying, it's all different now. It's a whole different story now.
Wow.
Yeah, the first draft, it was because I thought that in order to make the point, you have to be the movie should be shocking to make people shocked and scared, and so that you can have your point made. But I don't believe that anymore. Yeah.
Was it because you talked after you met the Jia Ying, after you have the real conversation with someone in the situation?
Yes, and after a long process of revision, and after talking to a lot of people, and like mentors or my friends, and like my producers, they all have different notes on the script, and they all help me a lot, because like the problem in the previous story I had in mind, I think I judged the character before I let her speak. I think that's that's one of the comment I got from a mentor. So yeah, I try to avoid that, and really really try to get to know the character more. And Injun is kind of like, it's like a friend around us. I think you can have a picture of like you can relate Injun to some of our friends. Like her personality is very realistic and very vivid. So yeah, and definitely I need to give a lot of credit to Jia Ying. She's great.
Wonderful. Okay. So to make this movie, you must have done some research regarding the practice of the Weight Loss Institute in Taiwan. So from what we have seen in the movie, to what extent was the truth? Did you tell the truth but hold back some truth?
I can't say I know what the truth is about this industry. I think the center, the wellness center in the film, is a combination of a lot of things. It's a fitness center, but it also sells diet pills, and it also does weight reduction surgery, and it's a made-up facility, because I don't think there's a place in Taiwan that does all that. But I think for this story's purpose, I need to have one clear antagonist, so I put them all together in one place. So yeah, it's a made-up place, and we did consult doctors and some professionals about the details regarding the surgery and the weight loss process. And yeah, there's one thing I didn't want to do, is that I don't want to make them all look pure evil, because I don't think they are. And I don't think losing weight is wrong either, but I just think people should do it for the right reason, and which is for themselves, but not for pleasing anybody.
So the character of diet coach played by Hsieh was amazing, very impressive.
Yes.
Can you tell us some information about your cooperation with actor Hsieh?
Yeah, I was very blessed to have this amazing cast. I wanted to cast him when writing the script, because I think he has he has a very sharp eyes that make you feel like very I don't know. I like that. But yeah, I think that role is very hard because it has a very long dialogue. It's like he has 2 speech in this film, and it's just all super long. But yeah, and I just can imagine how he has done that. I was also very nervous when working with him. It was the first 2 days when we shoot this movie, but because thanks to him, it went very, because he magically memorized all those complicated lines, and we did it because for a different shot we did it several times, but he can, I mean, he remembered it all, and it just I'm speechless.
In the movie, he was so serious.
Yeah,
You're very convincing. You cannot tell that whether or not he was pretending as a coach, or he really cares about you, want you to be a better one. But just you want to hate him, but you also think that he has his reason, or he's doing his business, or he's playing as a good coach. Yeah. So it's a very nice
kind
performance.
of like a religion. I mean, like fitness coach is a kind of religion, I think. And for that character, I think he believed that he's doing good for you, and because of the words he says makes sense too, right? Because the like, do you want to be pig because you look cheap, or well,
yes, the fruit analogy.
Yeah. He's actually making a point. It's a very cruel reality, and he make people see that, and yeah, I think he's perfect for that role because of his look is so scary. I don't want him as a coach. It's too scary.
Interesting. Okay. So there is a well-known song used in your movie, Try Once More. So, did you come up with that? How did you come up with the idea of using this song?
Okay. It's actually one of my own secret healing songs. Because whenever I fail on something, for example, if I'm getting a writer's block, or my project get rejected by someone somewhere, or when I'm just having a bad day, I would just secretly hum this song to myself. And most of times it works, because the lyrics like try once more. If you fail, just try once more, right? And most of times it works, but sometimes it's just so annoying. Like the song will annoy me so much because it's just so overly optimistic, and it's like, how many times do I have to try? Like, when would it be enough? Do I just have to keep trying? And I think people often forget that it's also very important for you to take a break from trying, right? You have to allow yourself to rest and to admit that, oh, maybe right now if something fails, but I'll come back again after a good rest. I don't have to keep trying, and it's okay to not be successful. And I think that song says so much about Injen's situation, because in the film we see her trying and trying, but it doesn't count for her mother because there's no results, right? Her mother didn't see the results, so she assumed that she's not trying, she's not working hard enough. But we've all seen that that's what she's been doing all the time. But yeah.
So I have one more question before I bring up all of the audience questions. So my question would be, are you working on any new project? So is there any story incubating in your mind at the moment?
Yeah, I have a few projects going on right now. They're all in different stages, and I look forward to one day bring them to the world. But there's I had my first TV series coming up. Is More Than Blue. The series is coming up on Netflix on October 22nd, and it's based on the Taiwanese drama of the same name. 比悲伤更悲伤的故事 More Than Blue, and which was a remake of the 2009 Korean film. And yeah, I made that series with a bunch of extremely talented people. And whether you've seen the movie or not, I think you're gonna enjoy it. So be sure to watch it, and yeah, and be sure to have tissues with you.
Oh wow! Okay, I will bring
you were
one.
And you asked before about how the transaction from short to film, right, to feature,
Yes.
right, and from feature to TV series is a different thing. It's just a lot longer shooting time, and it's like a marathon, but it's all fun. I'm blessed to have all this experience.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Wow. Well, definitely we will go to Netflix and watch the drama that you made. For sure. Yes. So is there any other project that you're working on, the story that you want to shoot? Or
I just finished another TV series, and I'm developing some ideas of my own, but they're not grown yet. So I'm still I'm still working on them.
Wonderful. We are looking forward to your other new movies, and definitely we will enjoy it.
Thank you.
So now let's bring some questions from the audience. So there's one questions about in the movie when Ying lost her sense of taste, and then she cannot taste the flavor of the food. She was very sad and frustrated by the situation because she almost lost herself as she's no longer who she was anymore. So our audience YW asked, so why did you choose to let the protagonist lose the sense of flavor instead of lost health? I mean, he would say that why not? Why it's a psychological problem instead of a physical problem? Why you made such a choice?
Because I do believe in order for you to be physically healthy, you have to be mentally healthy at first. And it wouldn't count. I mean, I don't know, but I think it all comes to what's inside. I mean, when you are not healed inside, then whatever you appear doesn't really count. Like in the film Hsieh Wu, he looks fine, right? But you can see he still struggle with. He's not really accepting himself, and yeah. So I choose, and also because in reality, when you do this surgery, it's really rare for people to lose the sense of taste just from the surgery. But if you are like psychologically affected somehow, like there's a possibility that you might lose the sense of taste. It's mostly come from your stress and pressure of, you know, when there's something wrong inside of you, then you have this kind of issues. So yeah, I do think people should focus more on their mental health. Like before, when I was saying it's okay to take a break, it's okay to not look perfect and had a bad photo and did something stupid. It's okay, just take a rest and come back again and everything will be fine. You have to forgive yourself for not being right, like what's right? Just yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, so there is audience, Shu Zhen. She want to know that is there any lines or the plot that is proposed by the main character Cai Jiayin? There any line that it's come from originally come from Cai Jiayin or any plot? That
It's been a while, so it's hard for me. Oh, the basketball thing. She's able to take it in one hand. That's from her, because to show that this character has a athletic background. In the film, we imply that the character is good at basketball, and she likes basketball because in her room you can see posters of basketball players and can see some trophies. So it wasn't that obvious, but yeah, we try to imply that she's just good at sport, and you wouldn't know that, you know, if you are making assumptions because of her look, then you wouldn't know that. But when she's able to take that in one hand, you can say, oh yeah, right. Yeah, in theater, when people see her doing that, they will have like, whoa, they were all amazed by that. That's from her. Yeah.
Yes. I also remember in the movie, Ying Zhen's room has Michael Jordan's poster.
Yeah.
That also shows that her love to basketball.
Yeah.
So there's another audience want to know from Minghua Xiao. She wants to know that do you think this film make any micro progress to the situation of our discrimination to the overweight people, and also make micro progression to the misogyny or just 厌女 in Taiwan more visible today, make this situation?
I don't know, but I do hope so, because I think it's a topic that is so common that we forget to talk about it. It happens daily in our life, and it's so, I guess, I don't know, it's too obvious, so people don't look. I mean, I think body shaming is still a very serious thing in Taiwan, and people don't really talk about that enough. So hopefully, because of this film, people will just think twice before they comment on people's appearance. That would be my little hope for this film. Yeah, it doesn't need to achieve anything big or great, but just think twice before you're laughing at someone else. That would be enough for me.
Okay, I see. So there's another audience asking, do you have a favorite director? I mean, that you look up to, or you always look for inspiration, or your favorite director in the movie?
I think, well, I like Anne Lee a lot, and also director Cai Mingliang, and also, I don't know how to pronounce. Amodowa, I like him a lot as well. Yeah, because of his colorful style and very humorous ways to tell to talk about, to tell dramatic stories. And I like Cai Mingliang because he has a very interesting sense of humor that I really like. It's a bit dry and a little dark, but yeah. And also for Anne Lee, obviously, like, and I mean, yeah, that's the three directors I can think of right now. Yep.
So since you mentioned about Almodovar, so I also noticed that your movie has the color is very I would say it's brighter than than other movies. You have a special brighter palette that you use. Is that you did it on purpose, or is your subconscious? You just made a movie with this color.
Yeah, I do like films that's more colorful. Like for me, I like I like colors, and I like to make my film a little to have a little distance from reality, so that we can see it from, like, take a step back and look at it, and knowing that it's a movie, it's not the real world. I like that. It allows me to, I know, because for stories, I like fables, and I like fairy tales, because we all know that they're fantastic and they're not like real. And I don't know, it makes me feel safer to I don't know, it's just personal preference. I do like my film to have colors.
Interesting. Okay, so there's another audience asking. This is Sharon Lin. She asked that when not making film, TV series, what do you enjoy doing? Is there a hobby that helps you work?
I should have one. I don't really have a hobby right now, but yeah, I think a lot of filmmakers' hobby is watching films and more TV series, because I before becoming a filmmaker, I'm an audience. I love being an audience, and that's what makes me want to become a filmmaker. So yeah, I do. But that's a very good reminder of finding a hobby of my own outside of this. Yeah. Maybe go outdoor more.
Yes. Okay, so since the topic of this film festival, this Taiwan Film Festival, is bittersweet for this, so we have an audience, Andrew Lin. He asked, do you have any bittersweet moment while filming Heavy Craving? That you are satisfied, but somehow you regret something you did. You hope you achieved that. You did something. You hope you didn't do something, or that bittersweet moment. Or
well, as a first-time feature director, there are a lot of regrets. And you wish you can be better. You wish you can, yeah, of course, there's a lot of things that I wish that I could do better if going back. But let me think. There's a moment that made me very emotional while filming. Is on the day when the Hsieh has to go on stage and do this song. We and perform in front of a bunch of people wearing this sparkly, colorful dress, right? Hsieh, the actor Wei, he practiced this a bunch of times, and before you can all see him, he was always a little shy, doing that scene, and I can feel that makes him a little nervous and uncomfortable. And also, I was very nervous about that scene as well, because I was questioning myself that, am I doing the right thing? Like, in order to make my point, I kind of have to make this actor to dress in to wear this dress that he might be a little shy wearing, and to perform. I mean, is this right? Am I like pushing him a little too hard? But that's a very important thing that we really need, right? So before the shoot, I approached him and I talked to him that you know why I want to make this scene. I want to make Hsieh go on stage because I know that in the world a lot of people couldn't do that, and maybe or it's being, you know, they're hiding themselves because they don't want to get hurt. But if we see Hsieh goes on stage, and it will bring them a lot of courage to be themselves. So it's a very important thing for Hsieh and for me to do, to, you know, that's what this thing means to me, and it'd be great if it can help me achieve this. And he understands that very well. He's just 10, but he's just so mature, and so he's just a very good boy. And he goes on stage and did this in like perfectly. I love that. I love his performance of that thing. So yeah, that's a very that's a moment for me. I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Also during that scene, you had Xiaoyu played performed with a song in the background. So can you tell us more about that song? I think it's overlooked by most of the audience, probably because you didn't provide the lyrics of the song.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. It's called 离生灵魂. It's kind of saying that in the lyric, it says that he has 2 souls and one is right? No. It's not like my soul is taken by you or something. I know how to say it in English, but yeah, I think that the lyrics echoes Xiaoyu's situation as well. But finding that song was an accident because I was trying to use a more popular song for this, just for performance, right? And because of the it's very expensive to find a popular song, so I was browsing online to find a better suit and to find an inspiration, and this song came up, and I really like the lyrics. It's so sad but so beautiful, and I think it says Xiao's situation so like perfectly. So yeah, that's how why I picked the song. The soul away from the body, I think.
So away from the body. Okay.
Yeah. Have you listened to it before? Have you heard it before? No.
Not at all. Sorry. But for sure, from now on, we will, after this session, we will all go looking for this song and try to understand this song. Let me see. Is there any other question from the audience? Please feel free to bring up your question to the director. It's a rare chance that we have Director Hsieh with us.
Sorry, sometimes I don't know what I'm talking
Not at all. Not at all. We enjoy your sharing very much.
It's good it brings back all the memories because it's been 2 years. But yeah, looking back at the film, I'm happy to be here.
Okay. Let me check with the president of the film festival. So, do we have a time limit for this session or?
No, everyone is, if you guys would like to keep talking, we can keep going on. If audience has more questions, we can also keep going. But if everyone is good and satisfied, we can do the closing.
There's another session tomorrow, right? Is it tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow there will be another section for another film called Andre and His Olive Tree. And we also invite the director to come and have the forum with us. So Actually, yeah, thank you for the reminder. That's why we are going to remind our audiences too. Tomorrow there will be another director forum. And thanks again for our moderator, Monghan, and director, Pei-Ju. The forum discussion was very inspiring. And I'm sure a lot of us, when we hear your story, how you started with this film and your personal experience, we get inspired a lot because unfortunately nowadays people do judge other people by their figure, by their appearance, and we might feel inconfident because of that, and we will keep judging ourselves. Am I not good enough? And your story is very inspiring. And I think a lot of us, when we hear your story, watch the film, we will know that we have to focus on ourselves much more. And I think everyone will feel the same too. So thank you again for this great work. And I would also like to thank everyone who attend this event. Before you leave, don't forget to write down the survey and let us know what do you think about this event. If you like to encourage us, or if you think anything that we can improve next time, please feel free to leave your comment. And also, thanks to our IT team, they work very hard to maintain this platform and make sure everything goes right. So maybe you cannot hear it, but let's give them like applause to let them know they are truly working hard for us. And thanks everyone again. I hope we will see you tomorrow, and have a good night.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director Hsieh, and thank you, President Bo.